Hi, and welcome to our latest craft program here at the Oldsmar Library. It's our craft for November, and what we're going to be making today is these cute little paper flowers. This was actually something that was made by a patron of ours, and she brought them in, and I thought they were adorable, and everyone loved them. And then I was like, I'm gonna see how to make them, and I thought it was something really complicated, but it's not. It's actually really easy to make these, so I thought it would be a good idea to do for one of our make and take crafts for the month. So all month long we've had some kits available to take. Really not much in them, just about 20 pages of some old books that we had that we cut into squares. So if you have one, you can use that paper. If you don't have it, you can just get your own paper and cut it to a size of a square. These are 5.5 inch by 5.5 inch squares, and that's all you really need to make this craft. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So what we're gonna do to make one of these flowers, basically the folds are all to make individual petals. So each flower can be made of 5 or 6 petals, so I'm gonna walk you through how to make one of the petals and how to do all the folds. I'll go through it again and show it again, and then I'll do it a third time, but on the third time I'm really gonna get into like if you want to make it look absolutely perfect and exact. But the great thing about this craft is that it's not like some other traditional origami where you really have to get the folds correct. You can mess up and it doesn't have to be perfect, and it still turns out really pretty. So I'm going to get started. You just want to grab one sheet of paper, take it and fold it from corner to corner. Just fold 2 of the corners together and put a crease in the middle. So you just have a triangle. And then you want to take one of the bottom corners and fold it up to the top point and fold that down. And then you want to take the other corner and fold that up that way so it meets the other side, and crease that down also. So now you just have a folded up triangle in the shape of a square. This is the tricky part about the fold. The next step is you want to take one of your folds here and open it up like that, and you need to smush it down. That's the technical term, is smush it down. So you take that and then just fold it down, and don't worry about it being exact. Like I said before, if it's not even or if it's a little off center, it doesn't matter. It'll still look pretty when it's done. And then you do that with the other side. You just open it up and smush it down. So you have something that looks like this. Okay, then the next step is to take these little flaps here, and you just want to fold them down so that this edge is flat. Like so. So there you go. And then you want to take these corners and just fold them in. And that's it. That's it for the folding. To make the petal shape, you don't need to fold it anymore. Just bring it around and curl it around like that. And you have one of the petals for the flower. Now, to hold this, you do want to glue this somehow. Hot glue is probably the easiest thing to do because it dries the quickest. So I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue on there and glue it together and let it dry. And there you have a petal. Now, if you picked up a kit from the library, I did include some extra paper clips. So if you don't have glue, you just have regular glue, you can just paper clip all of these together and put some glue in there and then wait for it to dry. The hot glue just makes it so that you can make a bunch at one time. So you can just paper clip that together, put some glue in there and wait for it to dry. So that's one of our petals. Now the flowers you can make with at least 5 or 6 petals, but I'm going to go through that again in case I went a little too fast that time. I'll go through the folding again just to show you again how to make it. So we're going to start by folding corner to corner. And we make a triangle. Then we fold the corners up to the middle to make a square. Then again, like I said before, the tricky part is opening this part and smushing it down. We'll do that on the other side. Just open it up, smush it down, and then fold these little flaps in. And then fold this back in. And that's it. And curl it around, glue it, and you have yourself another petal. So you make like 5, 6 of those, and then what you want to do is just glue them all together. And eventually, if you have 5 or 6, you can make one of these. And I will go ahead and go over it one more time in case you want to make the folds perfect and make everything really sharp and really neat. The easiest way to do that is we'll start again with our square, start with our triangle, fold it in half, make our square again by bringing the corners up to the top. But then when you get to the part where you open it up and smush it down, if you really want it to be super neat and tidy, you want to make sure that the seams match up. So it's hard to see the seams, I know, on the camera, so I have one that's a little highlighted with marker. So when you smush it down, we'll start back with our square shape. So if you want a really neat and tidy petal, you're going to fold it down, but then when you fold it together, we have our seams from when we folded it before. You just want to make sure they match up like that. So that way you have crisper, cleaner edges. You fold it that way. And then when you fold your points down, you want it to line up with the seams. The red line just denotes, marks where the seam is, so it's easier to see. And then you fold it over. And that's it. You have another petal. So make 5, 6 of those, glue them together in a circle shape, and then you want to make a stem. These are chopsticks. That's probably the easiest thing, if you can get your hands on some chopsticks or some thin dowels to put them together and make your flower shape. Some other things that you can do to make it a little fancier if you want to dress it up, you can always put a bead or a pearl or something in the middle to cover up that little gap. If you're feeling exceptionally crafty, you can decorate the petals with some glitter. Oops. This one has some glitter on the edges. This one, I put some glitter just on the tip. And you don't have to use book pages for this either. You can use wrapping paper, really any type of paper, as long as it's cut in a square shape that's even. You shouldn't have any problems. Just anything not too thick, like scrapbooking paper or like cardstock would probably be too thick. You can also change the sizes of the paper. Like I said, the other squares were 5.5-inch square. These little ones were made with a 2-inch square piece of paper. It's a little harder getting it done, but once you've done this several times, it's a little easier to make the little shapes like that. So. And then we also have, this is an example of just making a flower with 4 leaves. It's a little bit of a different shape. Or this one was made with leaves of different size pages. I think one is 5.5 and the other one is a 4. So you have different size petals on this one. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this craft for this month. And if you have any questions, you can always email us about the craft at information@oldsmarlibrary.org, or just leave a message on our Facebook page on this video. Thank you so much.